Hello, magical people. My name is Luminix, and I'm wondering how you're doing. Because I'm noticing in myself and in the world around me and in every conversation I have with everybody that I talk to, there's overall a heightened sense of anxiety right now. We are seeing here in the US a lot of chaos and a lot of disruption, and the oligarchical fascism is really thoroughly in place to the point where it is really starting to break down some of the norms within our larger institutions. And especially what's been going on the last few days with the courts, I have found particularly troubling. The government, if running as intended, has three separate but equal branches. And we've already seen over the last couple of months the way that one of those branches, being the Congress, both the House and the Senate, are willing to capitulate to the illegal, authoritarian, and unconstitutional agenda items that Trump has in mind. So that really only left us with the courts as a possible check and balance. And what we've kind of seen over the last few days is the Trump administration really testing the boundaries of how much they can get away with in terms of outright ignoring or even defying court orders. And maybe this sounds a little wonky, like too in the weeds, but realistically speaking, if the administration openly defies court orders, then that will be a significant break from what we have always thought of as our liberty and our democracy here in the United States. I already believe it is very seriously bruised and that parties on both sides are complicit in that. But I think an outright defiance of the courts would be an especially bad omen of the times to come. This is, of course, also in the backdrop of the aforementioned chaos that is happening both here and abroad in terms of economic certainties. Lots of people have lost their jobs. Many more people will continue to lose their jobs. Economists all across the political spectrum are foretelling that we are in a recession and that So I personally am of the opinion that things are going to get worse before they get better. And I'm not even feeling particularly assured of things becoming the better future I'd always hoped for. One of the most frightening things, I think, of the last couple of months, and we've just continued to see this ratchet up further and further, has been the blatant erosion of civil liberties all across the board. People who are here legally, people who are not here legally, people who are gay or trans. So many rights are being stripped away and or ignored, and creating this new norm that is really ugly. And so I've been noticing in myself that it is a little bit easier to become dysregulated and nervous because there is so much uncertainty. And so much of what is happening in the world is outside of our power. What can we do? We can show up at town halls, we can make calls or write emails to our elected representatives, do what we can to make our voices heard as constituents and voters. But beyond that, and the more future option of voting people out in the future, there's really not a whole lot that we can do right now to affect change in a grand scale. So we're stuck in this terrible place of witnessing all of these terrible, scary things happening and witnessing all of the terror and suffering that is happening both here and around the world because of the actions or lack of actions of our administration. Sorry, I totally lost my train of thought because, as you can tell, Mr. Man made an appearance. Hi, buddy. You want to sit on my lap? You can sit on my lap. You can't stand right there. There we go. Okay. He always likes to show up when he hears my voice, which is often when I am talking to a screen. Anyhow, so what was I saying? So much is out of our control. There's not a whole lot that we can do, and yet we are bombarded constantly with horror stories. And it's not like this is new. I mean, it's, you know, we've been hearing horror stories for a long time, but right now everything just feels so precarious in so many ways, and we are powerless largely to change it in the short term. So I want, again, this is something that I've mentioned before in previous videos, but I just want to encourage you to thrive. I want to encourage you to find the things that make you feel and lean into them. And of course, that's going to show up differently for everybody. That might be volunteering for something, that might be starting something new, that might be educating yourself about something so that you can use your voice to speak out about the things that give you the feels. And I would also recommend building community, whether it's with regards to that particular thing or just more generally. I really do strongly encourage you to make friends, deepen the friendships that you have, because it is those connections that we have with other living beings that really, in my opinion, give us the most beautiful aspects of this human experience. And, you know, maybe it's not people, maybe it's animals, maybe animals are the thing that you connect with, or maybe it's plants. You know, maybe it's a little bit of people and plants and animals. Whatever it is, I encourage you to deepen connections and hopefully find new connections to be made and create your sense of community. Even if you are a plant or animal person, also remember that you are a people person, because you are a people. So, and having people is important. So for myself, that's kind of shown up as, you know, making sure that I am maintaining to the best of my ability, and I'm not always the greatest at reaching out, but I'm trying to be better at it, maintaining those relationships that are most important to me. And also, as I've mentioned before, you know, I'm working on becoming a Sister of Perpetual Indulgence, and so that's also another community that I'm becoming a part of, but also within that space, I'm also having opportunities as to how to show up for the community at large. And that is very necessary at that time because of the aforementioned suffering that is happening all around us. So those are my thoughts for today. Sorry, Mr. Man, to disturb you, but I wanted to pull a card for me and you. We're going to pull a card for the collective, and I'm including myself in that collective. And this is from the Urban Crow Oracle. Really, really love this deck. Really like the tarot deck as well. But, sorry, Mr. Man. you will have to find one of your other many edible places to sit for just a moment. But anyways, it's a terrific deck. It's really been speaking to me a lot pretty much as soon as it came into my possession. So let's pull a card for me and for you to try and keep us aware of something that we need to be paying attention to right now. Oh, and of course, I sent it flying, so I'll be right back. Okay. And we have balance, and I think that is exceptional. And the first thing that's coming to my mind with regards to this card is that there is a lot of terrible stuff happening right now, but again, there is, if you're privileged enough to be watching this video, then you are also privileged enough to not be one of the ones suffering the worst of what's happening right now. And so that means, along with that privilege, you have the option of tuning out every now and again and reconnecting with the things in your life that give you meaning, that give you purpose, and that hopefully allow you to be of service to something greater than yourself. And that is being able to have that and maintain balance between keeping aware of all of the terrible things that are happening while also allowing yourself to have all of the good things that you have in your life. That is going to be a really, really important thing to keep in mind, because we are in this for the long-term haul. Long-term haul? We're in this for the long haul. And as I said, I think it's going to get tougher before it gets easier. And I don't know what kind of time frame we're talking about here, but I think it's going to get tougher for a while. I really do. Maybe well, you know what? Let's not get too doomer about it. But the point is while we have the privilege of also continuing to survive these times, then I feel for my life that I also have an obligation to thrive. So I think balance is an excellent, excellent way of summing up one of the messages that I'm trying to send in this video. So I think that's it for now. This is kind of long. Hopefully someone will watch it, but if not, well, that's fine, because I suspect that whoever needs to hear this will hear it. And above all else, don't forget to be kind and gentle with yourself, and I will see you sooner or later. Blessed be.